Hey, hopefully you're having an awesome day. Hey, we're going to come at you with another cooking video today. You know, one of the things about doing keto and one of the things I miss a lot is noodles, right? So we have the shiitake noodles that I use pretty regularly. They're okay. They absorb the flavor pretty good, but they're still not noodles. And then looking at some other noodles, so there's the Palm of Hearts and stuff of that. And I've seen Tom Garvey over at Tom Garvey's Keto Kitchen use some of the egg life wraps and stuff like that. So, but I thought it'd be really cool to find some other noodles to try. So if you miss noodles and you really like to see some really cool noodles, stick around, watch this video because I think you'll really enjoy it. So, right, so. It's really, so this recipe comes from Anita over at the Ketogenic Woman. This is really her recipe. So I'll put a link down to her page down below. So if you actually want to go over there and get a copy of the recipe and print it off. This recipe was so easy that even I couldn't screw it up. At least I hope. Knock on wood. So at least we're going to try it. So, all right, so let's get into this and let's make some noodles. Alright, so again, we're going to make some noodles real quick. So I'm going to use this Ninja food processor that I have. It's kind of big for what we're going to use it for, but it was either this or use the Immersion blender that I have that's got the little attachment to it. So, but either one of them will work. I think this is better just because I'm not sure everything would fit in the other one. I'm really nervous about doing it. I think it would, but I'm not 100% sure. So I'm going to use the bigger one. This is way overkill for it. So if you have a smaller food processor, that would probably work great. Again, this is Anita over at Ketogenic Woman's recipe. So I'll put the link down there. So if you want the exact measurements and everything else, go down there and do that. Now I will tell you, like Tom Garvey over the Keto Cook website, he does them with the egg life wraps, but the only thing with that is that they're like $5.99 and you get 6 wraps, and you cut them all up, and it gives you enough noodles. And I've never done it before, so I'm not sure how they taste. I eat the egg life wraps all the time, but I wanted to really try something different, something that was cost effective, which I think you're going to find that this would be. I'll discuss the price of it near the end of it. So if you want to know what you can make these for, I'll give you, we actually figured out what this recipe cost me to make today. Now again, with things going on, and again, we shop and buy things on sale. So if you're shopping and buying things that are not on sale, your pricing may be different, but probably not a whole lot. So let's go through the ingredients real quick. So this is really super simple. I'm going to use some of these pork rinds. They're only $2.49 for a bag of them, and we're only going to use a little bit of it. I take a couple of them, I crushed them all up into a powder. That's what I have here. So we're going to actually dump this pork rinds into the little pan, into the food processor, because we're going to mix them up a little bit more. And then I'm using a really good Parmesan, just because I like the Parmesan. I don't like the other one that has the rice caking and all that stuff in it, but it's probably fine to use. But I'm going to use this one. So this one's probably a little bit more expensive than most of them, and it's just nothing but Parmesan cheese. So it's just real hard cheese, which is really good, and you don't have all that stuff in it, and again, 0 carbs, right? So, and then I'm going to put a little bit of that in here. Now we're going to take this and I'm going to spin it a couple times, just because there is some bigger pieces in the pork rinds. So we're just going to break it all up, as well as the Parmesan kind of comes in scraping. So we're going to really pulverize that and make it, thank you. We're going to make that into a much finer powder. So we're just going to pulse it a few times. So that's all we're going to do. We're going to see how this goes. I'm not sure, maybe the Parmesan I should have ground up a little bit by itself, so it's a little bit finer, a little bit powder, but we'll find out, right? So, and then what else is going to go into this after we do this? We're going to put in here, and we're going to put in some cream cheese into it. Let's get that cream cheese in there. And then we're going to take 3 eggs and we're going to put the 3 eggs in here. Like that face I made when I'm making my eggs. Now I'm not bringing this really close into it here, just because I want to make sure that you're seeing everything that's going on. And I'm not sure if I just do that, you'd see it. So, but anyway, so we're going to throw this all in here. Now, Anita does say these are ketogenic friendly, carnivore friendly. I don't know what the definition of it is, because I'm not a carnivore person, I'm a keto person. So, could you eat them on carnivore? I think that would be up to you, or ketovore, probably more like, but. So we're going to give that a good spin. I'm going to knock this down a little bit off the sides, just to and do it one more time. Make sure all that cream cheese is down in there. And I may take this and put this in my immersion, because I think it would actually come out better in there. But let's find out. I'm going to spin this one more time, and maybe we'll do that. Alright, that's all there is to it. So then we're going to take our pan. Let's see how this came out. We're going to take this, turn this off. We're going to take this and we're just going to pour this out. Now the premise of this is that we're going to get this spread out as thin as we can in the pan. You'll see that I used a parchment paper. Anita used a silicone mat, so we'll see. And as she said, this kind of came out a lot runnier than what hers looked like, to me anyway. I'm going to put this in here, and then we're going to kind of smooth it out. Spread it around as much as we can. Now as this bakes, it will rise. Whoa! Oh, did you see that? I didn't say I was the best cook, or the neatest, I should say. Now as this cooks, this will rise up a little bit. We want to try to get as thin as possible. I got a crease like right in the middle of the pan. I don't know if you can see that. You can't see that probably here, but so trying to get those creases out. That's why the silicone mat would work so much better than this, right? All right. So once we get this pretty well smoothed out, then we're going to go put it in the oven. We're going to put it in there for 350 for about 10 minutes. So, all right, so I'm going to throw this in the oven. I'm going to clean my hands off here before I handle it, and we'll come back and I'll show you what it looks like when it comes out. All right, they're ready to come out of the oven. Let's check it out. Let's see what they look like. Cancel that. I'm gonna get my other mitt. I don't want to get burned. I'm gonna pull these out of the oven, take a look at them, see what they look like. So she did say when you cook them that the edges are gonna start lifting up. So they did do that. Now I will tell you that this did not come out exactly the way I thought it would, because I had some wrinkles in the pan. A couple of lessons I think I learned. There's some wrinkles in this pan with the parchment paper. So it didn't lay flat, so I have some creases in it, and it was hard to spread out. I was also really afraid about spreading it out too thin, so I think I got some thicker spots in it that I shouldn't have, and I should have kind of smoothed it out more. So I even should have spread it out even more. But overall, it doesn't look terrible. She did say, like I said, the edges are browning a little bit and they're lifting up a little bit. So I'm not sure if I should have left it in for another minute or two, but they look like they're pretty cooked. So we'll come back here in a little bit and when these things cool off, and I'll show you the next steps. So hey, if you haven't subscribed yet, please make sure you hit that subscribe button. That would really greatly appreciated. Keep coming at you with more great tips, comments, and ideas to help make your ketogenic lifestyle easier and better. Alright, I'm not sure whether you can see this okay or not. Maybe I should have moved the camera at a better angle. So that's what they came out like. Again, like I said, I had the wrinkles in this. This is, I think next time I will fit it to the pan if I used parchment paper. If you have a silicone mat, even better, because it certainly is a lot smoother and stays better to the bottom. And I know with parchment paper you can put a little bit of oil in the pan as well, make the parchment paper stick to it. So that may be another idea. So all that you're going to do now is, and again, this is the first time I'm making this up, so some of this is, I'm not going to say that, it's probably a little thicker than I probably would have liked to. But we're going to roll it all up very thinly, nicely. Kind of like a roll cake. Now some of the ends are not probably, I'm going to cut this off and set it aside for right now. So then what we're going to do is we're just going to slice it as thin as you want. Get a really sharp knife. Now I may have wanted to wait for these to cool a little bit, or even like I say, this is the first time making this, so for me, I'm learning some stuff. I may want to put, next time I make these, I may want to put a little bit more pork rinds in them, just because the batter was pretty thin, and I may want to thicken it up a little bit. Pretty easy to cut. It's a lot like, I would say it's a lot like the Egg Life wraps. So again, this is my size of my noodles. You know, so you could, it's going to be however you want to cut them. Again, I think some of these, it would have came out a lot better if I didn't have the crinkles and stuff in the paper. So I cut them and they kind of look like, I'll give you an idea of what they look like when you cut them. Let me see if you can see that. I don't know if the camera is focusing on it, but so it looks kind of like a roll up or something like that. So then when you unroll it, there you go. So there's our noodles. Pretty simple and easy. We're going to come back here and I'm going to actually cook a recipe and we're going to try these out. But I am going to taste them just because I have some end pieces here. And I'm going to just cut a little piece of these end pieces off just so I can taste them. I like them. I like them a lot. Those are good. I will tell you that it does taste a little eggy. So if you don't like egg taste, you may not like these, but I like them. I like them a lot. You can taste the cheese in them. You know, I can taste the pork rinds in them. And again, I think I'll use them next time just because of the batch size. Anita always says you got to double the batch size because you're going to love these things. Next time I'll probably use this. I just think it will grind up the pork rinds better, as well as chop up the Parmesan cheese a lot better. But I think it actually came out really good. Just learning some lessons, and I think I may put some more pork rinds in it next time than I did, just to get the batter a little bit thicker, make it spread a little bit better. And again, cut the parchment paper out so it fits right into the pan. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's really good. So I will definitely try these and make these again, and I'm going to play around with the recipe a little bit to enhance it a little bit. Maybe add some seasoning into it too as well, some salt and pepper and stuff like that to make it taste better. As well as Anita also took a pasta cutter, and she used a pasta cutter to cut hers. So I can't imagine that a little pasta cutter would cost very much. So that may be something else I'm investing in the very near future. I've been looking for a way to make some noodles myself. Like I said, the Miracle noodles are getting really, really expensive. The shiitake noodles are getting really, really expensive. And if I take all of these, let's pull them all apart here. Not pull them apart, but let's unravel them and kind of see what it looks like for the size of the plating. Here, let me plate all this and come back and I'll show you what it looks like on a plate, so you can kind of get an idea of the size and how many it made. Again, Anita always said that you're going to want to double this, and she's probably right. But we'll come back and we're going to talk about cost and taste, and we're going to talk about the macro line. All right, so hang out, come back. All right, so this is them plated up. I'm going to show you the plate. I'm going to step around here, show you the plate, make sure nothing slides off, so you can see what it looks like. So it's a pretty good size. I would say it's a pretty good serving size on these. You know, you put some whatever you're wanting to have with your noodles, whether you're going to make a stir fry up with them, or whether you're going to do something else with them, or we have something that we're going to be making a little bit later here, and I'll show it to you what it looks like at the end here, just so you can get an idea of how well the noodles went together and how well they held up in the recipe that we're going to make. I may make another batch of these just because I want to make sure that we have enough for both my wife and I. So we're going to do that here in a second because they're pretty easy to make, and I have enough ingredients to do that. So just to kind of go through this, I want to just talk a little bit about cost first, because everybody's talking about cost. I think cost is pretty important today. So if you can make it yourself, the eggs, I bought these eggs. I did get them on sale. I need a drink of water. You know, whenever I eat something and I start talking, it's kind of, you need to get a drink of water. And then, so I got these eggs that were on sale. So the eggs cost me about 23 cents a piece. Then the cream cheese I got on sale as well, and I bought 6 of them. I used what she had in her recipe that will be linked down below. And then I used these pork rinds. These pork rinds, $2.49 on sale, and you can see how much I used. I didn't hardly use any of them, right? But and that's what I'm saying. Next time I may put an extra teaspoon or 2 in there to thicken up the batter a little bit, and or grind them up a little finer, which would probably require you to use more of them anyway. And then the Parmesan cheese. Now I did get a really good brand of Parmesan cheese. And again, there's 28 servings in here. I only used one of them. So it was not very much money when you divide it out by 28. So it wasn't too bad. So I made these noodles. So this dinner here for this noodle, and I always call this one serving. For me anyway, it's one serving. This cost me $1.69 to make. So pretty cheap. A lot cheaper than the Egg Life Wraps noodles. And again, I can buy the eggs a little bit cheaper. If I got them at Costco, they're cheaper than what I can buy them at my local store. And probably some of the other stuff too. If I use store brand cream cheese versus the Philadelphia cream cheese, it's cheaper. And if I use the a lower grade of the Parmesan cheese and use some of the Kraft Parmesan cheese, it would be a lot less than what this was. As well as, like I say, we shop for things on sale. And then again, the pork rinds, I'm not sure you're going to get them much cheaper than what we got them by. So just to kind of go through this whole serving right here. Again, I'm just reading off of her recipe. So serving size is 138. Total calories, so pretty low. Fat in them is 10.7. Carbs in it, so this carbs in this is 1.2. So that's pretty good for carbs. So if you're doing total carbs like I am, 1.2 for this is pretty generous, pretty good. It's really a filling day. The fiber in them is 0, so of course the net carbs is going to be the same. And then the protein in them is 8.1 grams. And of course there's no sugar or anything else involved in them, so they're gluten free. So again, really like it. I will put a link down to her video down below so you can actually watch her make them as well. So, and we will come back here in the next segment and I'll show you a little bit about what dinner looks like and how it came out. All right. So we'll see how durable the noodles are so you get a chance to see how they came out. All right, I just want to come back. I wanted to kind of show you the second batch came out. These are the noodles that came out of the second batch. So I'll show you this way so you get a closer look. So they actually look a lot more like noodles. We sliced them up a lot thinner. So came out a lot better. I will tell you a couple of things. The parchment paper does not lay flat. We tried it a second time. We still had the same issue. So we are going to try to do something else. Either that or go out and buy some silicone mats. But slicing it up the second time, we left it out flat and then we just rolled it with a pizza cutter to cut it into little tiny thin slices. So that's something else we'd probably be investing in, is a little pasta cutter. You have those custers that cuts like 6 or 7 rolls at a time perfectly. So we will be getting probably one of those as well. We'll be going down to Home Goods and checking it out and see whether we can get one there for $5 or $6 or something. So anyway, just wanted to kind of go back and show you that. Again, this is going to be our dinner. So this is what we ended up for noodles. So I would say that's pretty good for about $3. We definitely got two servings there, probably more like 3 or 4. The second one came out a lot better than the first ones, and I think as we continue to play with it, we'll get it better and better. So hopefully you stick around and I'll show you what dinner looks like. All right, we'll see you in the next segment. All right, so we made some shrimp scampi for dinner using the noodles. So that's what they look like. I'm gonna just taste them. They're really good. So go check out Anita's page. These are really good. So, like I say, I think we're going to make some changes. We're going to do a couple of things. We're going to get one of those pasta cutters and stuff like that. But anyway, it was really good. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Hopefully give it a thumbs up. You like it and subscribe. And hit that little bell icon so if you like other videos like this, you don't miss other ones. If you want to see more great recipes like this, check out this video right over here. All right, and then click on this little Alan's Awesome Keto World button over here, just so you don't miss the next video. So, all right, you guys are awesome, and we will see you in the next video.